Technology that cares, putting the patient at the center of healthcare monitoring and therapy delivery. By Adrian, Attard, Trevisan, Umana Medical, GPI Group, and 3 Capital Ventures.
Hello. Hi. Thank you very much for having me, first of all. And congratulations to Innocent before me. I'm going to continue a little bit on what my colleague actually was saying. So what I wanted to discuss today is basically how the same technologies that you're going to be seeing in other parts of the platform are being applied into healthcare. My name is Adrian at Trevisan. I'm the CEO of Umana Medical. Umana Medical is a medical device and technology company operating in about 65 countries at the moment. It started off as a startup and basically got acquired by the GPI Group. And from that, our journey started. So today, I wanted to discuss a little bit what we're doing in terms of monitoring, creating technologies based on artificial intelligence in order to monitor huge numbers of patients via telemonitoring, and also huge numbers of patients via giving a delivery of care to these patients. So what's changing? First of all, it's very important for us to understand what's changing. What's changing is, this is actually quite an old statistic published, if I'm not mistaken, by I think by Deloitte, which basically shows that over the past few years, and this I suspect increased even much more during COVID, of course, changed in terms of how patients are being cared. More and more patients are being cared outside of a hospital setting and more inside a patient's home. And this actually, of course, raises a number of different challenges, but also opportunities for technology. I mean, this actually helps us a lot in terms of monitoring patients from their own homes. So in order for us to be able to give the type of care, it's very important to decide the environment. So in order for us, not just creating technologies, but also creating the right environment and creating the right technology so that patients are willing to do that. It's very important that patients are happy to actually be monitored. Otherwise, no technology, no platform, etc., will ever succeed. In order for us to be able to do this, we need to actually have 3 factors. We need to have the activity factor, the person factor, and the context factor. Only by this, we are able to always come up with a system that is enjoyable by the patients. At the same time, it gives us the opportunity to do it. Just to give you a small story, during COVID, Umana Medical was actually starting. It got acquired by this extremely large group, and we were monitoring up to about 85,000 patients just in Italy, purely by a platform and purely patients that couldn't get out of their homes. So these 3 factors have been extremely important to monitor these patients from their own home and achieving results as if these patients were actually being treated at the hospital. So what did we do? In order for us to actually move forward, first, we had to create the right medical device to be able to monitor them. And we created a device called the Umana T1 sensors. Nowadays, the Umana T1 sensors are used throughout 65 countries. And basically what we're doing with this device is replacing the traditional devices with a tattoo sensor. So we created this nano-based tattoo sensor that was able to actually physically monitor these patients at a distance for a very long period of time and having the adherence of these patients throughout this period. Of course, as you can see, the sensor on the top basically replaced the traditional bulky wired device. So, artificial intelligence. Lately, everyone is using the word artificial intelligence as if it's a sprinkler on everything, no? However, when we say we use artificial intelligence, we're all the time referring to basically the typical machine learning and supervised system in order for us to monitor these type of patients. And how do we do that? I'm trying to be fast in order for us to actually get to the point and move ahead. So how do we do that? We actually integrate these algorithms here on board on the device, see on board at different stages of the actual system. And this actually enables us to achieve high quality data at source, but also processed throughout. Apart from that, we also came up with a software, which of course we certified it's a software as a device, as a medical device for diagnostics, where we are able to aid the doctors, etc., to come up with diagnosis in a much, much faster way. So in real time, we had all these amount of people being monitored in real time, and at the same time, we had the doctors in real time utilizing data sets, huge data sets, in order to come up with probable conditions and phases of this particular condition. So this actually helped us in order for us to give a system that's actually viable, and at the same time, the most important thing, the patient felt comfortable. In order for a system, any type of system, to be able to work properly, it doesn't just need the patient to adhere to it, but all the other people inside the healthcare industry. And I think only that will enable a system to truly help a national health system work properly. And for this, actually, there is the need of patients, doctors, nurses, and every technical person on earth in order for us to have a system that works. So, just trying to arrive to something very fast and ending my presentation, in order for a system, in order for artificial intelligence, in order to any type of technology to work out, there needs to be one unique ecosystem. And that is super important if we need any system to physically arrive. Nowadays, for example, over the past years, we gained the experience that if you try to innovate inside a health system on your own, you will always fail. So the most important thing and the only message that I wanted to show you, to actually explain to you, is that a system would only work if all the stakeholders are on board and if one ecosystem is implemented throughout. Thanks a lot for having me. Thank you.